Oh! There we go.
I was gonna say, I don't think that was already done, but it's shifted, so I couldn't see the little unmute thing. Hello!
And that's the thing with using a stream there.
Yes.
You just switch scene, unmute.
Yes. I've actually asked Frog if he can figure out a way to unmute as you shift scenes, and he said it's possible, but you have to figure out how.
It's possible, but you likely don't want to.
Oh. Too much effort?
No. Too little control.
Fair. That's fine. I mean, I would ask how is everyone doing, but so far I only see an apple in chat. Are there any others present? Aside from me here. Hello, how are you?
I'm alright. I slept decent.
I heard.
I slept like a brick. Hit my head.
And that was Apple.
Oh, is that why I slept that long?
It suddenly went quiet and I knew what happened.
No, but I slept pretty decent.
Good.
Yeah, how about you?
I only slept a little bit because it's funny. Bullying. I slept a little at some point. After 7 came back home. So somewhere in the middle of the night, for whoever's listening, he had to go get his mom from Amsterdam. Hello, Vixie! Squeeze! Squeeze! 7 had to go get his mom from Amsterdam from a concert at 5 a.m. in the morning, and then he came home at 7:30. And then that was when I got to fall asleep. Yes. Hello, Vixie. How are you doing?
Yes. How is you? How was your weekend? How was your life?
Have you been on a walk today?
She's
been doing walks. That was also why she was late last time.
Oh, right. Yeah, understandable. You're nice on time this time. Fantastic. Unlike many others who are just not caught up yet.
Yeah, some are not coming. Also missing a Dragon Wolf in the chat.
Yep.
I'm used to him being here. And he actually, verified. It was this weekend, yes? Yes.
Well, you have him right here.
Ow. If you put anything on your head, you can't see it. That would be behind the rim. Oh, he's looking over the little rim. That's cute. It's adorable. Also, I could probably do the entire stream with this on my head because it's fairly stable.
Yeah, it is. Squeeze. But yeah, this hat is slanted as all hell.
It's good though. It's a good hat.
It is shaped the way it should.
Especially in combination with your coat.
Oh yeah.
They're amazing.
Oh yeah.
And well, think you tried making Hokkaido soup.
Ooh.
Interesting. What does that entail?
Yeah, what does that mean? Sounds interesting though. What is Hokkaido soup?
Is that because it sounds Japanese that you're immediately interested? Or because it's food?
No. Yes.
Both.
Both.
That checks out.
Yeah. Hokkaido. That was North Japan? I'm not entirely sure, actually.
Well, it's a pumpkin soup. Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I like pumpkin soup.
I don't.
I kind of expected that.
I don't like pumpkin.
Exactly. I kind of expected that. Although, since you like sweet potato, I kind of expected you, before I knew, I expected you to like pumpkin. And then you were like, I don't like pumpkin. I was like, wait.
Yes, because sweet potato is much less intense than pumpkin is.
That is fair.
Although it is about the same style.
Yes.
In flavor, the sweet potato is a lot more nuanced, where the pumpkin is much more in your face.
I mean, Apple, if you like pumpkin soup, you'll probably like sweet potato soup as well.
Yes, we knew. We got some sweet potato soup at some point.
Nice.
From her work.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's like a small orange pumpkin. It smells, inside smells kind of like cucumber. Okay.
So it's also 70% water.
Interesting. Well, I would think that means that it smells fresh.
Yeah. Cucumber's nice.
I never know how that smell is supposed to be described, but I think if you smell a cucumber, all you think is, oh, that's fresh.
Fresh.
Yeah.
Cucumber toothpaste.
Actually doesn't sound all that horrible.
It sounds cursed.
No.
Yes.
No.
It sounds cursed. And then you think about it, it's like, but actually.
I don't think it sounds cursed. I mean, I would love for there to be more different types of toothpaste except for mint.
Yeah, so there's...
If alone because people
there's either mint flavor or chemical.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter which flavor you get, it's all chemical.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind the mint.
Like a solid cucumber. Yeah. Now that's a cursed cucumber.
Yes. For some people it might not be, but let's not go into that.
That's just a stick.
But I don't really mind mint. But I have very, very sensitive teeth. So the moment I brush with mint and breathe in, the cold that you have with the mint and menthol flavors hurts. So that would be a reason for me to want a different flavor.
I don't like mint.
I would love a licorice flavored one or something. Yeah, not everyone likes licorice though.
I like licorice, but I don't know if it's for toothpaste.
I think that would be fine. Although something fresh like cucumber would actually sound a lot better.
Lemon.
That everything can be lemon.
Sounds good.
Yes, everything can be lemon.
Yeah, like the Napoleon candy, lemon flavor. Damn, so good. I don't know if you have Napoleon candies in other.
These ones.
Yeah, so I don't know if you have Napoleon candy in other countries. But they're basically like jawbreakers. But then sour.
No, actually, because they don't have gum, and most jawbreakers do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh.
At least by now. I don't know if that's always been the case.
Okay, well they are very hard candy.
With a little sour.
And they are sour. And all of the Napoleon candies have like different fruit flavors. This one is just lemon.
Just lemon, because this is my favorite.
Yeah, I prefer the green ones.
I can imagine.
Sour apple.
Yeah. I don't even think that has anything to do with apple, but like
it's
the fact
just
that that's that flavor, you really like that flavor.
Or lime flavor is also usually in green. Not always sour.
Not just most of the time.
You want to be sour.
She imagines herself to be sour.
Yes. Well, that is true.
To be fair, you do sometimes too.
Yeah.
And neither of you are.
Well, yeah. Sometimes.
Well, sometimes. Everyone is sometimes.
Exactly.
It's just not most of the time, like Apple says. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes a red sweet apple, other times a green sour apple. Actually, sour apples like the Granny Smith.
Granny Smith.
That's the only apples that Seven will voluntarily get.
Mm.
Like he'll eat a normal apple if I make it, like prepared for him. But like he will go out of his way for a Granny Smith. It's also the only fruit he eats. He is you.
Oh. I eat more.
Actually, I was gonna say you probably eat more than that. he likes watermelon.
Yeah.
You like melon.
I like watermelon.
No,
my favorite fruit is watermelon.
I meant Seven also eats watermelon.
Yeah.
Like that is about the only two things that he'll voluntarily go grab.
I like melon, like honey melon or cantaloupe. But watermelon is definitely my favorite. I like grapes, mostly the green ones.
Same.
As long as they don't have any
It's
thingies in it.
seeds.
Stones.
No, it's not a stone fruit. It's a seed. There's a difference.
Yeah, there is a difference. God, what is the name of those things?
Satsumas?
What?
Mandarin.
No. No, thank you.
Oh, that's the one someone will eat reluctantly.
Ah.
Like he doesn't mind it. He won't go out of his way for it. If I really want to force him to eat something healthy, I can give him one. He'll eat it, but then like that is it. Then,
isn't that a tangerine?
It can be either.
Oh,
depends on where you ask. So I think America.
Synonymous.
I think America says Satsuma and Mandarin is in UK. I'm not sure. It could be the other way around.
Tangerine.
Tangerine.
Yes.
Mandarin. Mandarin is Dutch. It's fine.
Yes.
Mandarin.
Yes.
It sounds horrible.
Which is the same as the Chinese
language. Yes.
Yes.
That.
It's kind of weird that we call a fruit after the Chinese area, the Mandarin. And I don't know where it came from. We just call it that.
Yeah.
It's a name.
Yeah.
It might be with a racial background, but if that's the case, I wouldn't know.
I doubt
also,
it.
the entire fucking world doesn't know.
It's also weird because it's not from there.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
it has nothing to do with the entire area.
It's from like the Mediterranean. That's usually where it comes from. Maybe like Southern America, maybe.
Yeah, Southern America.
And then I mean, for us, it's Southern
Spain.
Europe. Yeah. So yeah, I don't.
A lot of our citrus fruits come from Spain.
I mean, mostly the oranges, and I think more of the other ones come from either Italy or Portugal, because I know a lot of lemons come from Italy.
Okay. I didn't know.
Limes mostly come from Southern America. I know that.
In any case, it comes from Southern Europe.
Yeah.
Most
it's more
citrus
towards
fruits.
anywhere more towards the equator.
Yeah.
Because that's where it grows better. Because it's warmer for longer.
Exactly. They need heat.
Yes.
And in dingy, musty Netherlands, you don't have a lot of heat. You have a lot of water.
Except for right here, where you have the greenhouses that actually produce that heat.
Yeah.
That's the only plus side we have to.
Artificial ecosystem.
Yes.
Usually not big enough for entire lemon trees.
No, it's usually for other things.
Currently on the toilet at work.
Then I'm glad we didn't start yet. That means we can talk a giant tiny
Well,
bit.
thank you very much for us being your pooping content. Can't hear you guys sound off.
Do your little heart. How was it?
That one.
That one, yeah.
Just make a diamond shape.
Just wanted to say hi. That's not high. That is.
What? No. Good luck, have fun.
No, that's fair.
GLHF. I just wanted to say. Yeah, so you make a diamond shape and then you break your finger.
You taught me how to do that, and I still have to think about how to do it, and it's still never pretty.
Middle finger straight.
Yeah, I know. I know how it goes.
Yes.
You put those in.
Oh, you say you know, but then you do that.
No, I push. I push too much. That's the problem.
Ah.
Especially when I look at myself, and it feels wrong.
Yes. Because you don't flip your camera, like I do.
No.
Like my right hand just feels like my left now. If I wanted to point at the corner, I need to point the other way. Where I have my setup set up in the way
a mirror
that it's the other way around. So I can point to that corner, and that corner is correct.
Yeah.
Because I'm mirrored on my own setup. Which also means that you can also...
We have never been the other way around, right?
No. You can always see which arm is which on me, because I only have this on my left.
Yeah.
So if you see me waving around this arm, you know that it's my left, even though it may look right on the mirrored view that I use on my own screen.
Fair. Makes sense.
Yeah, right?
I just don't know how to play with settings. So this is fine. Also, by now, I'm gonna be freaked out if we are always the other way around, because I'm used to this.
Yeah.
It makes it stupid, but it's just the way it is.
Normalcy.
Yeah. No, habit.
Death to normalcy.
Yes. I will still say that I want to be normal, but then my normal.
Which is normalcy.
Which is not normal.
Exactly.
I'm not normal.
Death to normalcy.
Yeah.
Justice for Wong.
I'm missing a reference, I'm sure.
Well, Death to Normalcy is a statement by Gish.
Mm-hmm.
And Justice for Wong is Benedict Wong from Doctor Strange. Yeah. Wong had a panel on Comic-Con that Apple and I were at a while ago. And there was something about that, and he didn't get all of his rights that he wanted, even though it may have been entirely a joke. And he wanted to get all of Comic-Con behind him so he could assess an army to get his rights, and that would be Justice for Wong.
Fair enough. Sounds good. Everyone should have all of their rights.
Yes.
I think this is going to be the amount of people that we have today.
I think so too.
You didn't get a Funko Pop.
That's what it
How
is.
dare!
Yes, he didn't get a Funko Pop.
Yeah,
of himself, of Wong.
This makes a lot of sense now.
And then he created his own with tennis balls.
You were just the head of her.
Yeah. Then he made himself with tennis balls. And that is where, and then I can present this to Funko and be like, I want this. Justice for Wong.
Fair. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I don't remember what year that was. I think it was 2019? Comic-Con 2019?
No, everything was closed that year.
2019 was open. 2020 was closed.
That's fair, actually. The November one? Yeah, no, it probably was still open. Yeah, you're right. Probably.
2020 was closed, and then 2021 was also closed. 2022 was when it opened again.
Did you go that one?
Yes. So I assumed that it was 2019 and 2022 that I went, because I went twice.
I think we went in 2018. Because we only went once, but we wanted to, but it was too much money. It's always in Utrecht, right?
Yep.
Maybe next time we can go as a group.
Yeah. Okay.
It'd be fun.
Yep. Don't expect to go as a group cosplay, though.
No.
That shit is so hard.
I mean, we could, but then we'd have to start working on it now. For November.
Yeah.
So I think it's in November, right? I think last time
No, I think it's earlier. Usually it's earlier.
Oh, it wasn't earlier this year as well. Because otherwise it would be next month.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
fair, actually. The one we went to was, I think, in November or October or something.
I don't remember.
It might be. There might be two. That could also be.
Yeah, there could be two. Winter Comic-Con.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Which isn't even winter.
No, November would be.
Yeah. No. November isn't winter.
Oh, December, January, February.
Yeah, like the end of December.
The end of December.
It's basically January, February, and March.
No, because halfway through March you have spring starting.
Yes, and halfway through December you have winter starting. So it's basically January, February, March.
Is that correct?
Yes.
No, that makes 3.5.
No.
So it's halfway November through.
No.
You're probably right.
Yes.
Yeah, I was right. It is in November, and it's the wrong weekend. No, that's fair.
But yeah, it's no, it's fine.
I know, but
every season is 3 months, which is at the end of December.
See, that's
till
where
the
I went
end
wrong.
Of March.
In my brain, they had to be 4 months. But then you'd have 4 times 4, which is 60, not 12 months.
Yeah,
so I was wrong.
Either you have very long years, or you're missing a season.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm stupid. Yeah, I want to miss summer. I don't like summer. It's too hot.
Summer is nice.
No. Too hot.
I don't like fall.
I boil in the summer. I don't like summer.
I don't like fall. Fall is too rainy.
I don't mind raining. I mind
spring over fall.
I mind ice, and I mind too much heat. So like the 3 weeks that we have a heat wave, and the 3 weeks that we have ice, are no's, and everything else is fine. I can deal with the rest.
Although by now, our seasons have shifted so much that by now, fall is the better one than summer, because summer is a lot more wet than fall is. And since the temperatures are declining to the winter, it's nicer, even though it's like still 23 degrees when you sit just nicely in the sun. You can have your lunch outside. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then you just go back inside and everything is still fine, and then it slowly goes dark outside.
That's the one thing I don't really care for winter. I don't mind
short days.
The dark, but I do mind it becoming dark that fast.
Mm-hmm.
Or that long.
Yeah.
It's mostly, I don't have seasonal depression, but I do know a lot of people with seasonal depression. What?
I heard, I don't remember what it was, something on the internet was like, oh, it's getting to the winter months, which means seasonal depression on top of my usual depression.
I mean, that is kind of the thing. Like, I know a lot of people with seasonal depression, and if you're already not feeling well, that can definitely be a very big detriment to your health.
Oh, yeah.
I've wondered with you.
I do have it.
And a lot of trouble with getting up, and when it's
I do
darker.
have issues in the winter, in the darkness.
You would do well with the sunlight lamp.
Just replace the key light that I have. My stream light.
Well, then you'd have to start streaming again first. Yes, please. As soon as you're ready, you will. Like, as soon as you can, you will.
Yes.
You'll get there.
Eventually.
It will happen.
I may just need to build my own house right next to a data center.
Add a little storage next to it for all of the games.
Yeah.
A processing unit.
Directly plugged into the 10 gig line. Like this kind of cable underneath your house.
But yeah, you'll get there. It'll happen again. I mean, we're gonna stream soon with Frog.
Yeah.
We're gonna do the thing.
We're gonna be playing some Stardew.
Yeah.
The three of us. Just the three of us.
I can't wait. That's gonna be fun.
That's gonna be fun.
I want to keep doing our farm too, though. Because it's also a lot of fun.
I do know that in the same time that we have our farm, the same amount of days that we played on that farm, we're gonna be like decked out in stuff by then because Frog knows what he's doing.
He's also gonna direct us exactly to do whatever he needs us to do. You're gonna be the fishing one, which you're already doing, so that's great. I'm probably gonna do the foraging, and Frog is gonna do everything else.
Well, the thing is, right? Frog and I have played that game before, and he would just say, "Okay, I'm gonna do this. You're gonna do that, or I'm gonna delegate all of the farming to you."
Yeah.
And then the morning starts. Okay, then you plant. You grow and you water everything, and I immediately run to the dock and start fishing for the entire day.
Yeah, but you like fishing.
I do like fishing.
So there's a good chance that he'll be like, well, if you can build fish, then I will do this, and we'll figure it out.
But then you go foraging.
Yes.
And
hacking away the farm.
Yeah, exactly. And then someone goes farming, which would probably then be me. And he goes fishing, and then... Well, we'll figure this out on Thursday, what he wants. But, and then when the mine opens up, you get the farming task. And Frog and I go mining for a couple of days. Just go to layer 40 as soon as possible.
Sounds good to me. We'll figure it out. We'll get there.
mining is a lot harder on your own. So going with 2 people is a lot easier. But you also got to do all the rest of your day stuff. So playing with 3 people just makes that so much easier.
Yeah. I'll do all the day stuff. I have no problem with that. I like repetition. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, of course.
Now, we've already talked for 25 minutes. Let's get started.
It was a talking stream, right? There is nothing else. It's just...
We'll see you guys in 3 weeks.
It does say that it's a story stream. It's the story of our life.
Yeah.
It isn't just chatting stream, though. No?
Yeah, technically. That is true. Will you do the honors of the summary?
In the previous stream, we followed the crew to Mirith, where they were led to a building ready for demolition, where several imps were wreaking havoc. With the help of a new friend, they managed to catch all of them with one. Hazard traveled with them back to Tarlon, because one of the imps had blown up his leg, and Ida's could help fix it for him. The day after the 3 of the girls went back to Mirith, but not for more imps. They did some much-needed shopping, while still keeping an eye open for any trouble that they didn't encounter.
Yes. The day after that, the 3...
The day after, comma. Yes, it could have been.
It could have been.
It says the day after that.
Yeah, the day after that, the 3 girls went shopping.
3 of the girls. Yeah. You used it wrong this time.
It's fine.
Reading is
words.
hard.
I'm gonna have to do it many of them. Many
yes,
of them.
there's a lot.
Yes.
It also is just kind of stacked because it's so many of our characters are female.
Yes.
In this story.
Yes.
So
they are more vocal than the males as well.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Also, when you messed up the catch them all, gotta catch them all.
Yeah. Gotta catch them all.
I mean, they look like Pokemons. It's fine.
Yeah, they kind of they do remind me of the Impidimp, which is accurate.
Yeah, sounds fair. I don't know that one.
Oh, it's from Gen 8.
That's probably right.
The little pink one. It's Impidimp, Morgrim, and Grimmsnarl.
You saw my face.
No thoughts had empty. There was no thoughts and no Pokemon in there. They're fun little.
No thoughts head empty. This is your usual state, and now it's also mine.
Yes, exactly. Although I have learned over the years to not make that face every time I'm not thinking about anything, because I would be sitting like that, and that would be my normal
Your face
expression.
will be stuck like
that. All right, are we ready?
Well, apparently Apple was.
Ready for the summary, yes.
Ready for the ready for the chapters. That word. Words.
Very ready, yes.
Ready. Oh. What did you do?
I burped.
That's fine.
Yes, I summoned the demon.
The dark one isn't in this story.
He could be. No, he couldn't. It will fuck up my throat. Like it did with the bone whites from Yono.
Yeah.
That's where the voice came from.
Yeah. I like the dark one.
Yeah. Really well it's really cool if you don't have to talk.
Yeah, that's fair. But
for
you
a while.
I mean, you made the thing to be
yeah, because it's one
conversation
thing.
With.
The converse with the dark one is just one thing. And it's not a conversation of several different characters that all talk the same way.
True.
Entire blocks of text.
Fair.
Oh, sippy.
Yeah, sippy. That's why I took a sippy.
I've been sipping. This one's almost empty now.
Yeah, I figured as much. Okay, we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
Let's get started.
Let's go.
Let's go. That one. Yes. Hello.
Hello.
Chapter 13. Idas walked to the center of the room with a small box of parts and sat down, looking at Zenith to join her on the floor.
We'll be starting with the basics. Seeing how neatly my shelf has been organized, I believe you've read almost all of the books in there. You'll be starting your mechanic career with making the easiest in magic crystal technology. A hairdryer.
I didn't actually read all of them yet. I only read 2, but I organized them. I hope that's okay.
I'm sure you'll pick it up regardless. First off, try sticking this tube thing to this orb thing. I know, very scientific stuff.
Idas handed her 2 oddly shaped parts. Zenith tried to do as Idas asked, unsure what side to go where.
Did you have to read a lot to understand?
She asked, poking at the orb with the tube.
Most of it was taught to me by my father, well, following his lead. I only started reading when he passed. Did you get the tube on the side yet?
Zenith tried again and managed to get the pieces to stick together.
This way?
She asked, holding it up.
Yep, correct. Now we weld, which is dangerous, so I'll do the first ones.
Idas took the parts from her hands, walked behind the screen and sat down. Bright lights and sparks flew from behind the screen. When she came walking back, the parts were firmly stuck together.
Now you'll be dropping these crystals into a little receptacle, such as this one.
She handed Zenith the parts one by one. A fire crystal, orange and slightly warm, a green-tinted wind crystal, and a small metal object shaped like the number 8. Zenith took the pieces from Idas and carefully dropped them into the place she had pointed towards.
Nice. Looks good. So, this wind crystal will sit at the back of the orb and blow the heat of the fire crystal out of the nozzle we just put together. In other words, you'll put this receptacle inside the spherical body.
Idas gave her the welded housing back. Zenith took the housing and looked at the piece.
Like this?
She asked, putting the little metal part towards the tube that now led into the orb.
Exactly like that. I'll tack them together real quick.
Idas grabbed the parts and vanished behind the screen again. A few sparks and flashes later, she emerged with the crystals neatly inside.
Now just need the mechanism to turn it on, and you're done.
She grabbed the little button and showed Zenith how she installed it on the back of the orb. Placing her hand on the domed body, covering the button, she pointed the tube at her hair and used her palm to press the button. From a nozzle came warm air, blowing her hair softly.
Well done! Lesson 1 is complete. You made a thing!
Idas hummed a joyful little tune when she handed Zenith the hairdryer. Curiously, Zenith took it and turned it on and off again a few times, letting it blow on her hand and then her arm. Eventually, she also pointed it at her hair and wondered at how the hair flew away in the warm air.
We always dried our hair by the sun,
she said, still playing around with it. Now you can dry off on a rainy day, when there is no sun, Velutia said. She had watched the creation from her spot at the table. Looking at her friend, a fairy that was covered in fur.
Do you use one of these?
Zenith asked, holding it up to Valentina. I have one at home. Store-bought, though. This one is special. The lady smiled at her. Zenith smiled back shyly. She looked around to Delira, who gave her a little smile. I prefer my hair wet, but they are very useful, she said before Zenith could ask again.
I carry several within dimensional pockets of my coat. They're phenomenal for hairdressing. I could not live without.
Lachlan added. She looked over at Idas.
Should you sell it to get money for the clothing?
Zenith asked. Her expression was open and earnest.
Nah, we can't sell this. You should keep it as a keepsake. The first item you ever made. In time, you can look back at this old thing and smile.
Idas closed Zenith's hand around the creation and looked her in the eyes.
Okay,
she answered and nodded, smiling. She walked over to the makeshift mattress and placed the hairdryer beside it, close to her new journal. She looked at both things for a moment, her first belongings in this new place. With a smile, she sat down at the table, as the others engaged in conversation. During the rest of the evening, they all ended up doing some personal things, taking showers or working on the things they wanted. By the time everyone had gone to bed and Zenith had meditated, she sat up on her blankets and grabbed her new journal. Just as she could see it becoming a little lighter outside through a crack in the curtains, she had written down everything that had happened to her so far. Having written down what had happened to her wing made her pull it forward to look at it. There was a lighter patch, but it was healed completely otherwise. She could still feel the membrane was a little scratchy, but it didn't hurt anymore. But she did hope the scarring would lighten or disappear eventually. You know, you shouldn't be picking at it, Valentina joked. I never had a scar before, she answered softly. When venturing in the world, you will get many more. The lady rubbed her arms, signifying the scars she had, which were invisible underneath the fur. Zenith nodded, understanding.
Scars aren't a bad thing,
Lachlan added from his own bedroll.
Some people are very proud of their scars. It shows how brave they have been, or how they overcome hardship.
His words made her look up to where Lyra lay asleep, remembering her arm, and then her eyes were drawn to their new friend, Aronax. His legs were both sprawled outside of his blanket while he snored contentedly. Zenith nodded again, realizing scars could mean different things to everyone. It meant she had to figure out what her scars meant to her.
Scars can tell a story of battle, like yours. It's a mark of something that couldn't kill you,
Lachlan added when he saw her contemplating. That made her nod decisively. I like that. I'll keep it in mind. She paused for a moment. If we're going to visit Mirith again today, maybe we should begin with breakfast, so we can leave early.
That's a way to get me up in the morning. Making breakfast is the most fun of the day to me. It gives me so much energy, seeing the happy faces of my peers eating the most important meal of the day.
Lachlan jumped up. From behind the curtains separating Ida's bed from the main workshop, they heard her stir. I prefer Picoro for my energy. A little snort sounded from Hazard's corner.
Picoro, yes, please. Picoro, you mentioned that when we first arrived. The bean drink. Can you teach me how to make it to your liking? I can show you. I usually make my own anyway. Let's see if she'd like that drink my way.
Hazard had an evil smile on his face while walking to the kitchen.
What you do is, you take the beans and demolish them, put them in a strainer, pour boiling water on it, and you wait for a bit until the water is pulled through into a cup underneath. Bob's your uncle, you got Picoro.
While Hazard showed Lachlan what to do, Lachlan instructed Zenith on how to crack eggs in a pan and bake them off. Lachlan seemed to have a lot of fun both learning and teaching at the same time, and soon the smell of Picoro filled the shop, and Zenith was able to serve several plates of eggs. Lachlan sniffed the cup of Picoro of his own. You never had it before? Zenith asked, while she saw everyone slowly getting up to the table for breakfast.
It's new to me, indeed. It smells delightful, comforting almost.
Lachlan took a sip of the beverage, and his face contorted.
It seems an acquired taste. Not bad, just different.
Hazard couldn't stop himself from laughing. His barreling laugh made sure everyone was wide awake.
It's not for the faint of heart, I give you that.
Hazard said as he wiped a tear from his eye. Idas crawled out of bed and slumped at the table, picking up her cup. With small eyes crumpled in the chair, she started sipping from it. Nice. I usually have it a bit stronger, but this is good. She put the cup back down.
Stronger? Why, you little...
More laughter drifted across the table as they had their breakfast. When everyone finished, the dishes were cleared quickly, and soon everyone was ready to leave to find more imps in Mirith. After they took the train back to Mirith, the group was a little unsure where to go. They had a little debate at the train station about where they should go and if they should split up, but after Lachlan pointed out that they only had one trapping stone, it was soon decided that they should stick together. Roaming the outskirts of the city, the group got some glimpses of the city through alleys between the tall buildings. Mirith wasn't that large of a city, but it was packed with buildings and stretched up to the clouds. Even houses were stacked on top of one another to use the space as optimal as possible. The giant circular city looked like a dome from a distance, with the height of the buildings tapering off the further out you went. They walked all along the outer ring, listening for any signs of the creatures or people talking about disturbances. It wasn't until a few hours into their search that they heard people mentioning commotions from a few blocks away. They didn't spare a moment and rushed towards the indicated area. As they started to get closer, they saw people running away from a small square. Come on, I bet that's where that's the imp from last time, Ida said as she started running towards the crowd. In the center of the square, they found an ornate fountain, one of several they had already passed. 2 imps were climbing on top, slamming their crooked fists into the sculpture. Even though their arms looked quite thin, they went at the stone ornament with all their might, smashing off pieces that fell into the water at the base.
You think that's funny, huh? Get down from there!
Hazard shouted at the imps. Their ears perked up, and they looked his way. One of the imps sprinted down the sculpture, yelling, while the other opened its mouth wide and fitted it around the entire spout of the fountain. Zenith jumped up from the ground and flew towards the fountain to scare them away from there and guide them towards the others, who had the stone. Before she reached it, though, a third imp came out of nowhere. He had similar wings to her and flew right past her. She altered her course and went after the flying imp, hoping to pull it off balance to make it fall. Hazard roared at the imp coming towards him. It screeched back in response and bit into his metal leg.
Hey, that's new!
He kicked the imp away from him. Idas held up the stone, but the imp was too quick on its feet to aim. Lachlan ran in with his bowstaff and smacked the imp on the head. With a faint rumble, it went dazed to the ground. Hazard picked it up by the neck and brought it over to Idas. Before he got there, though, the imp was shot out of his hands by a glob of water.
Who did that?
He frantically looked around. The imp on top of the fountain snickered, the lines on its head pulsating a watery grey color. Meanwhile, Zenith and her imp had flown 3 circles around the square. She was done with him. He seemed to get more tired, so she acted like she was tired too, slowing down and nearing the ground close to the others, instead of chasing it. Like she had hoped, it came around to taunt her. She shot up, grabbed the first thing she could reach, which was his ankle, and yanked him down to the ground. Idas!
On it!
She pointed the stone at the creature and opened the seal.
On my mark! Jump! Now!
Zenith jumped out of the way, so she wouldn't be taken in by the vortex. The imp did get sucked in.
1 down, 2 left.
Lachlan held his staff aimed at the imps that recouped on the fountain. As the standoff turned into a stalemate, neither party knew when to strike. Keeping an eye on the ground and periodically screeching, the imps didn't seem intent on attacking. Suddenly, from behind, the Lyra smashed a piece of broken sculpture into the head of one of the imps, knocking it out cold. It startled the other imp so much it fell down into the water below. Valentina and Zenith circled around the fountain from either side, trying to contain the creatures to the square, so they couldn't escape again. Idas sprinted to the fountain to catch... Sorry. They don't see that. I do. Where is it? Ida sprinted to the fountain to catch the one in the basin. It was gurgling underwater, slowly polluting it with black sludge trickling from the impact wound. Gripping the stone tight, she opened the vortex again and the imp was gone. The other, however, seeing how its companion got taken, spat more water towards Idas and started fleeing towards Valentina. Valentina jumped into its path, giving Zenith enough time to swoop in and grab the imp by the leg, lifting it up into the air. The higher she flew, the harder it struggled until it kicked itself loose. Screeching, it went plummeting to the ground. It never hit it as Idas aimed the relic carefully, following the creature's trajectory. Not having sustained any injuries, the group exchanged a few high fives before they went back to the train station, elated that it went so well. Zenith, now having made a written account of what, and about to write the new adventures, informed the others that they had 10 imps already caught, which caused them all to celebrate on the way back to the workshop. It wasn't long after a simple meal that everyone went to sleep after the exhaustion of the day. Even Zenith elected to meditate first before she would journal their latest adventure. Words. So many words! All of the words. Shouldn't be picking at the scar, I would say, well, simultaneously a minute later to pick at it myself. Yeah, that's fair. That checks out. I do that.
You shouldn't do that, you know. It's really bad.
You shouldn't pick... Oh, you can't see.
Nope.
Oh, you shouldn't pick at your wounds. Thanks, sticker. Full of it. You can see them. They are
Jesus.
abundant. You can't see them.
That wasn't there last. That wasn't there last night.
No, that's from this morning.
Yeah.
He attacked my hand, and then he was on the table, so I defended my space.
I have a scar on my hand, which has the same reason, right in the center there.
You would not be able to tell if you just looked at it.
No, but it's like right there. Little what's the thing?
I don't know.
Like a black-eyed pea-sized spot. Very much a small oval right in the center of my hand.
A grain of rice, I would say. Just over.
Well, it's like this big though. It's like this.
Yeah, I guess so.
It is fairly wide.
It's also almost indistinguishable.
Yes, it is also about
a lot of years old.
Probably 10. Yeah, I think about 10. And then it was like, oh, that itches because it was healing, and it was a big open spot. It was like, oh, it's healing. So it itched like crazy.
Yeah.
So I went to scratch around it, and I created 2 more.
Oops.
So then I had 3 spots right in a row.
Yeah.
But they did actually heal properly. The middle one didn't. I have a couple other scars. Simple ones, though. I don't have bits. So.
Well, most of my scars aren't actually from sticker. Actually, almost all of them are from different things.
Yeah, it's always surface marks.
Yeah.
That sticker makes.
I have one from a dog, and I have one from a rabbit. All of the others are made by inanimate objects and my own stupidity. You know how that feels, right?
Yeah, you mean all the scars that I have? None of them are from animals. So, except for this animal.
That's fair. The monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one on my leg that I'm not going to show. That is a bite mark from my old dog. And she never bit anyone.
Except for you.
No, that was what I'm going to explain. A lot of people are like, if a dog bites you, they're bad. Like, you raised them wrong. No. My dog bit me. Only me. It's the only ever time that she ever bit anyone, and I did something wrong. So she had every right to defend herself.
Yeah, I think...
I was in her space while she was warning me.
Yeah.
She was telling me exactly what she didn't want, and I was doing it anyway. And I didn't react in time. And she bit me in my leg, which immediately she went down to the ground in submission because she was scared that I was going to retaliate, even though I would never. Because she knew that I was the alpha, because I always was. I was always the only one that she would listen to. Like, she would not pass through a door before me, ever. She would not. Like, she would listen to me quite well, and that was the only time she ever did anything bad in that way to me. The only other one I have is also not visible. It's about the same as yours. I would have to look for it. There's one big long scar on the inside of my wrist that I can't really... I don't know how to show that. I can do this. It's here, but on the other arm.
Let's just rotate.
That doesn't help.
Yes, you rotate this time. That, right? See? It works.
So there's a long gash.
Oh, really?
Because at some point at work, I was holding a bunny, and the bunny wanted out, but I was holding it.
That was problem number 1, holding it.
If I had let it go, for one, it would have broken its legs because I was standing upright and I am 175-ish. That's way too high for a bunny. That's not okay. And on the other hand, it's also like there were a lot of kids running around there. I would not have been able to catch it again.
Mm-hmm.
So my idiot brain was like, well, I'm holding this bunny here and underneath. Like, it's kicking. I'ma just let it kick. So that I had like a bunch of scars on my stomach that have been gone for years. And then this one was the deepest one on my arm that stayed for a long time. You can barely see it. I would have to actually look for it.
I got one on my wrist and I don't remember what it was, but it's like this big. It's very thin.
Can't even really see it.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember what it was. At some point I was looking at my wrist and it was like that line that the scar made, that the scar now is, was like entirely blood red. And there was a big spot at the bottom. It was, I guess it was inflamed. Oh
yeah, if it's all the way red around, then yes.
I don't remember what it was. I was very young. I also have this spot right here.
I guess this would also could count as a scar.
Yeah. Because
at some point my thumb was in between the hinge side of a door.
Yeah. I hate it.
So I lost a little piece of my thumb. So there's a big scar underneath my nail bed, like where the rest of my thumb is supposed to be, because that's where they knitted it back to get there. Very charming.
I hate that story because I have images.
Sorry. I was 2. I can't remember. I'm glad I don't remember.
That's for the best.
Yeah. Apparently, everyone in our neighborhood knew that something happened. I screeched.
Understandably so.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, I've had my hand in between the door afterwards, like in between a car door because someone was like close it too fast or something. Like, even that was less of an issue than the thumb. Also, I need to keep this one cut because otherwise I can't use my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid. But it does make a very good fingerprint.
No.
That means that, like, no one has this fingerprint.
Yeah, that's true. There is none.
Like, if anyone wants to open my phone in that way, then they can't have my thumb. Like, if you have this is really weird. I got 5 visible ones. 1 on my head, 2 on my right side, 1 on my left knee, and 1 on my right.
Knowing your clumsiness, I'm very surprised. Like, every time I hear you, I just stab myself or I bumped somewhere, and like full of bruises at all times, and only 5.
Oh, well, the biggest one I have is actually the one on my ear.
Yeah.
Which is covered, generally.
Mm-hmm.
But that's when I got knocked in the head by a car door. A truck door.
Man who can't guard doors.
During your stream that I came in being like, I'm sorry I'm late, I got into an accident. Why are you sorry? Get yourself fixed!
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine. I don't bump my head into the car.
Bib. That is what the sound usually is. Bib.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I wonder if for like a bump, just like a hiccup, if they just used the onomatopoeia word to make that a thing.
I know the word you just used, I don't know what it means.
It's the word for a sound. Is that right? I think so.
It might be. I don't know what the word means. So
in Japanese, they use it a lot.
Is that not phonetics?
No. No, I don't think so. In Japanese, they use words for the sound of lightning and stuff like that. If you know the Pokemon Pachirisu.
Yes.
Pachirisu literally means thunder squirrel.
That's fair.
Because Risu is squirrel, and Pachi is the abbreviated form of the sound of thunder. The onomatopoeia for the sound of thunder is Pachi Pachi.
Okay.
And that is what they used.
That is interesting. I like that.
That's why Pachirisu is named that way.
Cool.
That's also where they think that Gyarados is from. Because the dos part is the shorthand of Dulce, or the Americanized version of Dulce.
Mm-hmm.
And Dulce Dulce is the sound of piercing flesh. And Gyarados has the very big mouth for piercing flesh.
Yes. Didn't really have that many scars from accidents or something. Most of them moved completely or almost completely healed. The most visible ones are all in my arm.
Yeah.
Actually, in that case, I also have a few more scars because gastric bypass.
Yeah.
Gallbladder got out.
So
extraction surgery.
For Apple, there's one that is like this big on her arm. There's one here that is this size, and there's one here that is like basically an L shape. That is all to have her arm be useful again.
I mean, to be
because
fair,
they fucked it up at the start.
I've seen most of that area, at least in bathing suits and here, and they have never been noticeable by me.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I shouldn't have said that, but I do think you don't care. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't mind. If we're talking about scars anyway.
I mean, she did technically also say about the ones that she has on her arm.
Yeah, but like an explanation.
Yeah.
And in any case, I didn't expect you to mind.
More?
Yeah. So many words.
More words. Chapter 14. By the time everyone else started to wake up, Zenith had already started on breakfast. Lachlan was the first to join her in the kitchen.
You've done this only twice. You're already doing it by yourself.
He said, impressed.
I like it. The process of the liquid becoming solid in the eggs is fascinating.
People that we share this excitement.
Are we going to visit Mirith again?
Zenith asked as she watched Lachlan prepare pakuru for the others.
I don't think we will. They most likely will have moved away from there by now.
He said, shrugging his shoulders. When the eggs were done and brought to the table, everyone sat down.
What's the plan, Chief?
Hazard looked around. Lachlan nodded, wondering the same thing. Perhaps a different town? Valentina offered, after a moment of silence.
Since Starlon is in the center of 2 other locations, I think we should check out the other direction.
Sounds good.
Lachlan said as Delira and Zenith both just nodded.
Sounds unanimous to me. Let's take the train the other direction.
Ida slammed her hands on the table and jumped up.
How long will that journey take?
It was about an hour the last time I took the train from there to here. It was where I came from the day you guys found me. The group packed their stuff and headed out the door. On the way to and at the station, they had small talks as they waited for the train to arrive. When the dark green vehicle stopped at the platform, they jumped on and sat down. The trip was mostly quiet, as Valentina wrote more in the bestiary, Delira was reading, and Idas was sketching more machinery. As they arrived at the new little town that Valentina had informed them was called Cordova, they immediately smelled the fresh, salty air. The train stopped very close to the beach. There was a lovely western breeze, straight out from the sea. Valentina breathed in deep, and so did Delira. Zenith couldn't help herself. She pushed off into the air and looked out over the sea. Her very advanced eyesight could see some islands in the distance, in the southern side of the sea.
I've never been to the beach. Always seemed like a waste of time. Now that I'm here, I know that it's a waste of time. Cheer up, friend. The sea isn't our primary focus here. We mustn't stray from our objective.
Where do we even begin to look?
Zenith asked as she glided down and landed a little clumsily.
Beach huts, rocky cliffs, little cabanas. They got it all over here.
Let us move to where the wind takes us. The cabanas.
They slowly moved in that direction, not because they wanted to move casually, but because it was a very busy day in the little beach town. It was a sunny day with a clear sky and a nice cool breeze that everyone that could had come to enjoy the nice day.
Is it always this busy?
Only when the weather is nice. People like relaxing by the water.
I don't think I could relax with this many people around.
I don't understand how anyone could, Delira muttered, looking around at all the people pushing into each other to find a nice spot in the sand. Where there are people, there's chaos. Perfect place for some imps to cause panic in a lot of people at once. Lachlan took the lead, up the sand dunes and onto a grassy patch on top of a hill. A small meadow stretched out before them, where several cabanas were dotted around. They walked around the cabanas as casually as they could, without making it look like they were trying to break in. Valentina was the first one to hear something further down the meadow. At one of the last cabanas, they heard rummaging and clattering inside. Sneaking closer, trying not to look suspicious, they peered through the window of the hut. Lachlan silently told the group to circle around the building to leave no escape.
When everyone is in position, I'll open the door. Wherever it flees, someone can catch it.
They all nodded, and soon everyone was in position at one of the 2 doors or at one of the windows. Lachlan swung the door open to startle the creature and immediately had to dodge a vase thrown at him. The monster screeched at him and tried to escape. It clawed at the window where Zenith was keeping guard. Zenith pushed it back inside, knowing Ida's was on the other side of the house with the stone. Lachlan pulled out his flute and started playing a soothing melody. When the imp's erratic movement slowed down, it meekly crawled towards Lachlan. In the meantime, Ida had made her way inside and snuck up behind Lachlan. With the imp mesmerized by the sound, she opened the seal and the imp started to vanish. Suddenly, the relic began to shake, and the vanishing imp rematerialized in front of them, while from the rock, 2 others crawled out. There was no way to stop them from escaping. Shocked by what just happened, Lachlan stopped playing, giving 2 of the imps ample time to crawl out of the doorway, while the third flew straight through a closed window Valentina had been guarding.
Trapped. We lost them.
Lachlan had stormed inside. What was that just now? I thought there was only one. Luckily I could jump away in time, otherwise my fur would be covered in glass shards.
There was only one. We had it, but the stone refused. The others crawled out of there while the seal was left open.
Ida looked at the stone in her hand. The others also came to the front of the cabana. Maybe it's broken. It has been in the ruins for decades at least.
You said we had 10, right, Z?
Absolutely. 8 now.
Then this would have been 11, meaning there might be a limit to how many it can hold. I need to go back to study this and try to create a bigger vessel for these guys to hang out in for a while.
That sounds like a good idea.
They discussed for a little bit about what to do. The cabana was destroyed and they didn't know who had rented them out, so they cleaned up as well as they could and rested for a little bit before they would head back towards the train. They looked over the beach one more time to see if anything was wrong. It was swarming with other people, beings of every size. The group checked the break at the end of the beach. The rocks were polished by the water, shimmering in the sun. Barely any people made their way to the break. Many preferred the sand of the main area, but there was one individual who stood out among the few. This person was fully clothed on such a hot day.
Idas, that hair,
Zenith said, poking her friend with her shoulder, pointing up at the man.
The bright orange.
Idas furrowed her brow in anger.
What? What's wrong?
It's him, the one that stole my crystals and scarred Z. I'll never forgive him.
Stop, Idas. Get back here. You shouldn't make any hasty decisions.
Lachlan put a hand on her shoulder. Even Hazard nodded at Lachlan's words.
I have to do something. My man has so many of Idas's things. What do you propose, Lachlan?
I say we talk to him. I'll go. He doesn't know me yet.
Lachlan responded as he walked towards the rocks.
Hey there. Is this spot taken?
He asked the man with the orange hair.
Yes, by me. I was hoping to share the space, if that's all right. Sure, whatever. No one sits at this side. No one sits at this area. Right? Everyone is willing to sacrifice personal space for a bit of sandy beach. There's plenty of warm rocks to sit on.
The man motioned his hands for Lachlan to sit down.
What's he doing? Is he nuts?
Ida asked in a whispery tone. I think he's trying something other than straight-up violence. Let him try. Lachlan sat down next to the man, at a respectable distance. He sat back a little, soaking up some of the sunlight.
You are completely right. The rocks are nice and warm. Are you from around these parts? Some would call me a nomad, a wanderer without a place to call home. I'm not from these lands, I'm from the other side of these waters, so now I just roam the villages for odd jobs and live by the day. Interesting. My name is Lachlan, by the way.
He held out his hand to shake.
They call me Rohan. In my language it means the lost. My given name was lost in the ages.
The man shook Lachlan's hand vigorously.
Well met, Rohan. What kind of odd jobs do you do? Anything any other wouldn't want to do. I don't ask questions. I just need the money to feed me and my son. Oh, you have a son. Is he here on the beach with you? Yeah, he's down by the water. Would you mind if I check on him real quick? No, go right ahead.
Lachlan said, waving his hand out towards the beach, but then he got up.
You know what? I don't mind getting my feet wet for a moment. I'll walk down with you. Sammy, where is that kid? Samuel, where are you? I'm here, Dad.
Suddenly, the kid was right in front of them. The boy looked to be a teenager. He wasn't of the same species as Rohan was. His skin was a lovely olive color, and his eyes were wide, with a slit as a pupil, like a cat. He had a thick head of black hair, and when he spoke he had a slight lisp.
We're leaving. It's getting late.
Rohan put his hand on the boy's shoulder.
It was nice to meet you,
Lachlan said, taking off a shoe to go dip his feet into the ocean.
Here it was. Let's meet again sometime.
The man's sharp teeth shimmered bright white in his red face. Lachlan nodded at Rohan, and as soon as they had left his sight, he sprinted back to where the others were.
I need you to follow me,
Lachlan said to Zenith. She didn't skip a moment. She flew up high and found the orange hair moving into the beach town, and they started following them, while the group on the ground started to follow her movements in the air. As Zenith was flying high in the air, she kept the orange wisps of Rohan's hair in her line of sight at all times. He pulled his son towards the other side of the village with a haste she didn't understand. She saw Rohan push Samael further, and the boy looked around for a moment. He walked out into a street where Zenith saw only one other person, a fair-skinned lady with auburn hair. Samael tripped, and the woman immediately rushed forward to help the boy. Zenith could see Rohan getting ready to rush the lady, so she dove down, setting the others in action too. They rushed to the scene a few seconds later. Stop! Get away from that lady! Rohan had already grabbed the woman's bag. He first spotted Ida's and recognized her immediately. Zenith remembered it last time. She stayed in the air, but had swooped down and was making circles to keep him grounded. Lachlan tried to hide behind the others, trying to stay hidden from his newly made friend.
Yeah, it's me, the person you stole from in a different town. I won't let you get away with it this time.
I steal from too many people to remember everyone. What do you think I am, a library?
Give the lady her bag, and give Ida's her crystals back.
Ah, right. The crystals, yes. They were delicious.
You ate my crystals!
Ida's face turned red in anger. Rohan broke out in laughter.
Of course I didn't eat them, but they will fetch a pretty penny from the right buyer,
he said, swinging the stolen purse from side to side. It's not right to steal. What did this lady ever do to you? Or Ida's, for that matter?
Look, buddy, we can do this the easy way, or the painful way. Give Ida's her crystals back. Give this lady her purse back. We won't be bothering you. You won't be bothering us. Or we beat you to a pulp and take what we can find from your belongings. Well, listen here, you oaf. You don't make the decisions around here.
Rohan rattled on. As Hazard had spoken, Samael had maneuvered his way to the other side of the road. They noticed it too late with how enthusiastically Rohan was waving around the bag, keeping the attention on him. Up to the point he threw the bag to his son. Rohan shoved the woman towards the group, and both Rohan and Samael ran in different directions. Idas and Valentina had to catch the woman, but by the time the rest came into movement, the thieves had gotten away from them with their loot. Even Zenith had taken too long to decide who she should follow, so when she heard Lachlan speak, she lowered herself to the ground.
Let them go for now. I have a feeling this isn't the last time we'll see them. Next time we'll be better prepared.
Are you all right, miss? You didn't get hurt?
I'm all right. I'm not hurt. I appreciate you trying to stop that thief.
My name's Idas. My friends and I will get your purse back.
Zenith walked closer to them and studied the woman a little bit. She had the most brilliant green eyes and fair skin. Her arms had whorls of light-colored tattoos, barely visible unless you were fairly close. Are you an imp? She muttered, her hand mindlessly going towards the tattoos. No, I'm fake. The woman answered openly. The markings are uncanny, Zenith said, studying the whorls. What's this imp you speak of? Similar markings to me? How peculiar. They are these creatures that are very mischievous and destructive, Valentina offered, searching for her notebook. They are beautiful, Zenith said, still looking at the markings. These creatures, Valentina said, showing one of her drawings. Wonderful drawings, dear. Intriguing-looking creatures. I can see the similarities to my own markings, indeed. The woman looked through the notebook. Valentina already started to tell the woman more about the creatures when Lachlan suggested to sit down somewhere and talk, instead of standing in the middle of the road. They went over to a little park the woman was familiar with. Sippy!
Oh,
Throat
God. This is a fun conversation between Lachlan and Rohan.
Yeah.
Just the shift. And also the bit that Hazard says, "We won't be bothering you, you won't be bothering us." And
you
then
did really
answering
well.
with, "Listen here, you oaf."
Thank you. Hello, Ram.
Hello.
Good morning.
How you doing, bud? Long time no see.
Yeah. I knew it.
Did you finish all the vanilla Coke already?
Probably. I mean, we brought you home at a reasonable time. You could have been awake. Even we went to bed at a reasonable time. Irish? Yes. It's actually what I do in my head. I go, Irish? Because if I don't, I forget what the voice is. Irish? She's an Irish lassie, yes?
I slept okay, I think. Hey, good.
It's better than outright bad. Good.
Yeah. Same, I think.
I mean, you did say you slept like a brick, and you have quite a bit of energy, so I think...
I slept like a brick, hit my head. I was out like a light. I was gone for 10 hours, I think.
No. 9.
9.
At most.
Close enough, though. Slept too long. I got that problem, too.
I don't.
No.
Can I have the extra hours you guys
I
have?
wish.
Just the extra ones.
I wish.
If only.
If only.
Yeah, well, I mean, I went to bed at 2.
Really?
So that, yeah.
Oh.
That would mean that you guys were up for slightly longer. I think I went to bed at 2. When I checked my phone, it was 1 something. So I assumed it was 1.
Yeah.
But I did hear you guys for a little bit, so 2:30 sounds fair. As you can tell, they slept over here.
Yeah, you think? No, we slept in the container outside. Like a bunch of trash pandas.
I was gonna say in the hell that you, like this, the smelly hell that you guys.
Oh yeah, smelly hell.
See, now I wouldn't let my worst enemy sleep there, let alone you guys.
I would let my worst enemy sleep there.
You would?
Yeah.
Or maybe Frank.
Well, no. Actually, I wouldn't let my worst enemy sleep.
That's also fair. I can tell you that it's detrimental to not be able to sleep. So
actually, I would
definitely Frank.
I would let them sleep in a nice place. Because then you know where that is. You can sneak up on them and just, there we go. Worst enemy gone. Simple.
See, this is how Apple did the brick thing last night.
Yeah. Worst enemy. I know that.
Yes, he's definitely everyone's enemy by now.
Oh, yes. Never met the guy. I have.
You have, yeah.
Yes.
And he was so nice.
No.
No?
No.
I thought he was okay.
Well, he was okay.
I mean, I remember Frog being like the very first time. Yes. The very first time Frog was in the store, he was there for a chat with me and Frank and a mediator. And that was when the mediator was cancelled. So he basically just came to say hi to me. We chatted for a little bit, and then he went to go to Frank to just ask normal questions about animal care and stuff. And Frank was really being nice because he thought he was just a customer.
Mm-hmm.
And then the actual conversation happened like a few weeks after. And then Frog actually got to see that Frank isn't all that nice. He basically showed his true colors.
Yeah. Dark brown.
Although he didn't go out. Yes.
That's his true
very
color.
shitty.
God, just irrigation ditch water.
Septic tank. But yeah, he didn't actually get his worst out. He didn't get angry when Frog was there. But yeah, he definitely wasn't nice either.
Rush hour restaurant dishwater color.
And I still prefer the septic tank for Frank.
Well, that's bright green. This is also septic tank green.
Yes.
I prefer this color.
I prefer this flavor.
I prefer this flavor. Yeah, we got the new monster flavor. Oh, God, no.
Do you need a sippy?
Yes.
You want another one?
Yes, please.
Keep chat, bitchy.
Oh, new monster color. Or flavor. Just dishwater. Chemicals, like all of them. From the good old Sweden. Ooh. Why, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's a good trade.
What, an empty?
I give an empty one, I get one full back.
And you didn't give the empty one, you put it on the table.
Oh, you want it?
Eat it!
No. Doesn't work. I did that with the tab.
So, do you mean, yeah, there's not what I was gonna say! Now, the problem is, I think of any of the people that I know, he might actually be one of the people that would enjoy that. I don't know how.
It would feel close to home, because he is the same kind of disgusting.
That's probably why.
Give him a can of whoop ass.
I'll give him a can of deodorant and you can use that as a little flamethrower.
Oh, you can also just turn it around. And yes, you could use that flamethrower.
It's a very bad
That's
idea.
fun.
No.
Oh.
That's perfect, right through each other. That's perfect. Be so kind and helpful to open them inside with the heater on.
Yes.
I mean, in that case, there's like definitely hiding spots that I could think of to put something that he won't ever notice that it's there. I could put something really smelly there just before I stop working. Like dying fish or something.
Well, isn't that source to me?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Yes. Do it. Do it. Kill him now. Slice off his head and take the power.
I mean, there's also like there's certain things in my work where I'm like, how do I know how to do this and you don't? Like, he has so much experience aside from the animal. Don't wait. There's so many things in our store that are like construction things that still need to be done. Like, he can build a full set of cabinets or whatever. It does not matter if, like, even without instruction, he will build his own. Like, he has done that before. No issue. He has replaced all of the ceiling at some point while I was still working there. He can do construction things. We have a leaking faucet. If he buys me one that fits, I can switch it for him. Like, he says he needs a contractor for that. It's like, I can do that for you. Yeah, but you're a woman. So if you can't do it and I can do it, why would you pay a contractor for doing that? I need to turn off the water for that. So I know where that is. It's right underneath all of the stupid bags of kitty litter. It's like, how do you know that? It's because you put it there when I needed to clean. So I know where it is. Like, I know where the shut-off valve is for the water. Like, I just have to shut it off, let it run through, take it off, and put a new one on. Like, it's not that hard. I know how to do that. And he can't. He doesn't know how. It's fine. Then pay someone, like, pay me the $1,200 to replace it, you know? If you want to pay for something, go ahead. But yeah, I don't understand. Now, I told you yesterday, I think, that I can, like, hang up a lamp. Mm-hmm. I think you were like, oh, you can? Because I didn't do the education you guys did, but my dad taught me that shit because, that's useful.
So I do want to be clear, mostly to the internet. Like you said, no, because you are a woman. That was not my point of view on that.
No, that was Frank's. My point was that was Frank.
That wasn't what I was going for.
Okay, just making sure.
I was surprised you knew how to do that, not because you were a woman.
Oh, like that. Yeah, fair.
No. I want to be clear.
Didn't feel that way.
I wouldn't have expected you to know how to do that, especially because you have an engineer as your husband.
That is fair.
You don't need to know this because he does.
That is fair.
So I wouldn't have expected you to know that. I would have expected you to know how to fix your bike tire.
No.
Right?
No.
Well, I don't know either. But
that is something that's I could exchange the inner tire.
Yes, that was what
I can't patch my tires.
In any case, I would have expected you to do that over hanging up a light on the ceiling.
Fair. No, my dad taught me quite a few little things in and around the house, so I would be able to do that on my own if necessary. And that was way before I even got with 7, so yeah. I'm not saying that it would be easy for me, and I would probably still put instructions next to it just to be sure, but I could definitely do it. It is nice to be able to.
Yes.
It's also nice to have a husband that can do the thing and I can just sit next to it and watch.
Yeah.
That is a difference, knowing how to and doing it.
Yeah.
That is very true. But I have actually helped my dad with the faucet. I have helped 7 with our kitchen faucet here. So I know how to do the faucet by experience. I know which parts I need to make sure that are connected where and how, and I realize how that works.
Yeah, that's.
I mean,
it's not actually.
It's
actually an inability that isn't tied to your experience or knowledge. That is a physical inability.
I mean, at your place, you can't even reach the ceiling. Well, for one part you can if you stand on your tippy toes, probably, but the other part you can't. No?
Nope.
It's also too high.
I cannot reach any of my ceilings.
That's good, though. You can't bump your head.
I can literally stretch up all the way, and I would not be able to hit my own ceilings because it's so high up. And so we have a little attic area that doesn't stretch all the way across. So our ceiling has 2 parts to it. So we have an attic area that I cannot reach from the floor to touch that ceiling. And then we have an area that is even higher because that goes to the tippy top of the ceiling, or to the roof, basically. That is a slanted roof. I mean, I would be able to throw something up there.
You're throwing Apple. Apple, if you want to stay here for safety, that's okay. I understand. That one's over. That was last month.
That was the last month?
That was last month.
That was this month.
No, that was last month.
Ah, pooey.
Or maybe this, actually. No, I think it might have been October. So you have 7 more days to go. I'm sorry,
cool.
sweetie.
Get over here.
Again, if you need to stay here for another week, I understand.
You're safe. You're safe.
He'll catch you with his body and then break himself.
I would rather break myself than break anyone else.
Yes. Which is why I said it with that much confidence. I did not expect anything other. But yeah, let's do the last chapter. Maybe?
Yes.
Yes?
Sounds good.
Yes.
Yush.
Yes.
Scoot.
Let's go.
There you go.
But now if I move, oh no, it doesn't. Well, it does.
Yeah, if you go that way.
I move every way.
If I move, then
If I move, I bump into you. That's just how it works.
I'll slap you in the face if I do this.
Yes, don't do that.
And you'd be glad I missed. If you moved a little bit forward, you get my wrist underneath your jaw.
Yeah, I expected as much. To be fair, that's happened before, but not with you.
Yeah. Just like the... Oh,
yeah.
Fuck, it sucks. Teeth rattle.
Yeah, especially that. Let's do this.
Let's go.
Let's do the thing. Chapter 15. As they all sat together, Valentina happily supplied the woman with more information about the imps. Zenith, unable to withstand the pull of the warm sun, opened her wings a little to let them soak up the rays.
We really ought to get back to the shop. I gotta check this thing out.
Idas juggled this rock in her hands.
We can have some time to rest. Zenith has flown quite a bit today, and we all ran around the village.
If I may be so bold, is that one of the stones from the nymph tribe to the east?
How do you know of these things?
I've been hired to investigate these things. My employer would like as much information on them as I can find.
I realize these things are powerful, and that your story is incredibly shady. Who are you, anyway?
The name's Ira Willow. I've been hired by Lord Tal, the advisor of King Harlow III. Would you like to see my credentials? Ira asked, her chin high and her shoulders straight.
Well, I am Aranex Barnabas Al Deathly, employed by the Merithian Mason Society, ordered by the government. What do you know about these rocks?
Hazard tried to stand as straight as he could, which was arguably still crooked. I know that they belong to the Nymphian tribe in the east of the continent, and that they were said to contain some type of magic, and whoever holds all three might do wondrous things.
Just sit down, old man. She knows her stuff.
Idas pulled on his arm.
Who you calling old man?
Hazard grumbled, but he did sit back down.
Sorry, did you say 3?
Zenith asked, speaking for the first time since they sat down. Yes, I've been told that there's 3 stones. I take it you have only found this one, then?
Yeah, we're gonna try to transfer the contents of this one to a different vessel. I just gotta build that first.
Idas held the stone up to the sky and studied all of its sides. How do you intend to make such a vessel?
Figuring out how to create the containment areas, like the one in the rock, is going to be the hard part. From there, it's as easy as slapping some metal pieces together to create a housing for it.
Have you considered asking Ahika, the lady of the library in Meyerfall? She knows many of things, and if she doesn't know, then she will find the book that contains the knowledge.
Meyerfall is half a day away by train. I've never actually been there before. I've heard rumors of the magical library, but I'm not much of a reader myself. There's a library?
Zenith's interest was piqued.
Ira, we seem to have goals that line up with each other. Would you be interested to help us understand these things?
Realize I have my objectives set by the advisor of the king. I'm on duty. But I'll be able to gather most valuable information from the people who have one of these artifacts, so I'll join you. Preparations were made. Ira, now having lost the belongings she had been carrying, needed to return to the inn that she was staying at to collect her other belongings, and then they took the train back to Taran. As the group was walking back from the train station to the workshop, Zenith hopped forward to walk next to Idas. Zenith had seen her drawing and writing furiously in the train.
Are you okay? Totally. I just can't get Rowan out of my head. I keep getting visions of him transforming and smacking you down. At least I've gotten some planning done for some more machines.
Idas gave her a dry chuckle.
Yeah, seeing him again made me a little nervous. Do you want me to help you with those machines? These may be a little advanced, but I have some others I need in bulk, so you can help with those.
Idas stuffed a notebook in her bag.
Anything I can help with. Just tell me what to do, and I'll do it.
They arrived at the workshop, and Ida opened it up and let everyone inside.
I'm just going to run down to the market to grab some more fresh vegetables and fruit,
Lachlan said, passing by the group and walking off.
Be safe,
Zenith called after him.
These little buggers I need a ton of. They're spark relays, made of 4 parts, worth about $1 each, which means that you owe me about 50 of them for the shopping trip.
Ida smiled, putting down a box of parts.
Can you show me how to do one? I'll get to work right away. Sure thing. You have this piece. It's called the conductor rod. Easiest is to just hold it up like a stick. You're gonna put stuff on it, like this thing. This voltaic switch is going to turn the output on or off depending on its state, which is controlled by this state processing unit, or SPU, that clicks into the bottom of the switch. Then you slide on the housing and you're done. Easy squeezy. I got it,
Zenith said. She grabbed the pieces as Idas was explaining them and mimicked her work.
Wait, and does this have to be a certain direction already? The voltage switch thing? The prongs need to point up and away from the conductor rod. Otherwise, boom.
Idas motioned her hands, emulating an explosion.
Oh, that got me intrigued. Can you make a demonstration of a wrong one? I want to see it go boom.
Hazard leaned forward in his chair. Maybe not the best idea, Delira said, stepping back as she had been watching the interaction.
I'm happy you're interested in the work, Hazard, but no explosions in my workshop. I need to put up a rules board on the wall.
Idas looked around for an empty wall, only to find more crates of junk metal. There's space above the door, Delira whispered, tapping Idas' shoulder.
Will anybody see that, though? That's really high up. I also don't think I can reach that.
Ida's voice trailed off when she realized how much taller everyone was compared to her.
You can jump really high. Otherwise, I would be happy to help,
Zenith said as she started working on assembling the spark relays.
I'll go write down a couple of rules on a board, and then I'll figure out how to get it up there. Maybe I'll need your help.
Idas grabbed a couple of pieces of scrap for her own project and began working off of her drawings. While Zenith worked on her side of the table, Hazard put some of his stuff on the other and started tinkering with his own items. Valentina was showing Ira all of her notes, not only on the imps, but all of her bestiary. Delira followed Idas away from the others into her welding corner. You know, being short isn't a bad thing. Everyone has different qualities. You don't need to be tall to be good at stuff.
Thanks, Dew. I think I really needed that type of encouragement. You really shouldn't walk in here while I'm welding, by the way. It'll blind you.
Sorry, you hadn't really started yet, but I'll let you get on with your work, she said with a little soft smile. She went back to the others at the table and went along in the ongoing conversation. Idas was welding buzzing on in the background. About an hour after they all went to do their own thing, Delira sat back down next to Zenith, placing a glass of cold water in front of the girl. Don't forget to drink something sometimes.
I don't need to drink, but I really appreciate it.
As Zenith began drinking, Lachlan returned from his walk around the market.
Roaring success in the market. It's like they wanted to give it to me today. I wonder if we can finish all this food by the time that it goes bad. It's so much.
He smiled as he carried 4 full bags worth of food into the kitchen. Let me help you. I've looked at the little letters for long enough. Zenith put down her glass and constructed 3 more of the spark relays.
I finished, Idas. What? That was quick. Well done, Z.
Idas walked over, smiling. She pulled her welding goggles off and up and on top of her head. Her face was covered in so much soot that it looked like she was still wearing the goggles.
In my next project, I'm going to need about 16 of them. And for another project, another 12. They're quite imperative.
She held one up to the light and inspected it thoroughly. Zenith wiped her with her hand at her forehead, pushing her long hair out of the way. A soft chuckle came from Delira.
What? What happened?
She asked, looking around and then up to Idas.
You two do start to look alike,
Hazard said, joining in the laugh.
What did I do?
Delira brushed her thumb across Zenith's forehead and showed a streak of dark grease.
A regular grease monkey, like the pixie.
Hazard's barreling laughter filled the room.
You're one to talk,
Lachlan said as he stepped back into the larger area.
I don't think I've seen a clean hand on you since we met. I'll take that as a compliment, pal. If there's no gunpowder on these old paws, I must be sick.
Hazard clapped his hands vigorously to create a small dust cloud.
Well, I'm itching to go. Where do we go next? Since it's nearly dinner time, I'd suggest we stay here for the rest of the evening. Tomorrow we can go anywhere.
Lachlan said, looking around the room for ideas. Ira had been looking around the room at the friendly banter going around and had a small smile playing on her lips. You seem like a tight group.
Only by happenstance,
Lachlan said, smiling, with a flourishing bow. We've only met a couple of weeks ago. I stumbled into one another.
A couple of weeks? Time really flies, doesn't it? My dad always says that time flies when you're having fun,
Zenith said, a nostalgic smile on her lips.
I think he was talking about you. You mention your family a lot. You must be close to them. I'm sure they watch upon you in their dreams, noticing your adventures, awaiting your stories.
They will love my stories, as I love my brother's story and that of my father. It'll be a while before I see them again.
Then it's good that you keep them in your heart. That way, they're always with you. For a moment, Zenith thought she saw sadness in her smile, but it was gone too quick. She'd also noticed that things like that tended to be asked more in private. She nodded, with a soft smile, and got up, gently putting her hand on Demila's shoulder.
You, mentioned dinner? Can I help?
Yes, dinner. I got something very special at the market today. I normally wouldn't buy this, but everything was so cheap. You could certainly help me prepare it.
Lachlan jumped into the kitchen and started rummaging through one of the bags. Zenith took another look at Ida, who had been checking Zenith's work.
Squirrel, did I do it right? Can I go help Locke? So far, they all seem pristine. Suffice to say, I'm impressed.
Ida didn't take her eyes off the relays.
It was fun,
Zenith said as she bounced around for a moment.
I'll go help them.
She went into the kitchen and asked Lachlan what she could do to help him. That girl has a lot of energy. She does, yeah. To think that she only rests about 2 hours a night, surely it's a gift.
Must be some kind of species trait. By the way, does anyone know what she actually is?
I think that's for her to answer. A silence fell. They slowly got back to their own work and contemplations. After some time, Lachlan came bursting from the kitchen with plates full of food.
Dinner is served. Gather round the table.
He danced through the room with the plates in hand, making a pirouette every time before placing down a plate. There were plates with pheasant, duck, and pork. Others were filled with grilled asparagus, green beans, stuffed bell peppers, and roasted potatoes. And others were fresh bread rolls, pretzels, and the last one was filled with pastries. But he placed those at the end of the table.
For after. Come, let's eat.
Meyerfall is at the north of the continent, right? Yes. It's right beside Rodeado Lake. Rodeado Lake. The lake surrounded by the forest.
Rodeado Lake. I've heard stories of that place. Beautiful yet haunting. Enlightening yet dark. Meyerfall is the only city I've heard of that flourished from being built in a swamp. Is it hard to get to if it's in a swamp? Zenith asked, putting plates down for everyone. They had all sat down at the table and started putting food on their plates. It used to be, but with the introduction of trains, the entire west side of the continent is easy to get to. If you're up for the travel times, that is. Have you visited before? Yes, but I've used my own means of transport.
Your own transport? Do you have any of those whatchamacallits? Chauffeurs?
Hazard said, about to stuff his mouth with more meat than what could be feasibly lifted by a fork. A soft chuckle escaped her. Nothing so fancy, she said, standing up from her seat. She showed them her back. Between two slits in her fitted burgundy dress appeared two large, membranous wings. They're bat-likes, Valentina said, amazed and excited.
Oh yeah, people have those. I don't even have all of my limbs, let alone a set of flyers on my back. No need to get upset. I don't have wings either.
Wings are much more maintenance than they seem. Your friends Ida and Zenith might tell you. It takes a long time to learn how to wield them, and then you need to keep up your strength and movement, otherwise they become burdens on your back. Zenith nodded, tucking her wings in slightly.
You think it's more maintenance than metal joints, lady?
Whoa, big guy, calm down. This is a friendly conversation. She's right. Wings do have a lot of maintenance, which is why I can only use mine to jump. And if anyone knows how much work metal joints are, it'd be me.
Idas guided Hazard back to his dinner table chair.
You're right. That was uncalled for. I apologize.
He held his head low. I think everybody needs maintenance in different ways, perhaps.
Let's not stray too far from the topic. Should we go to Meyerfall tomorrow morning then? Will we all go by train?
Lachlan asked, trying to maintain the peace. So far, the train has been our only option. It's quick, reliable, and takes us anywhere along the west coast without us expending our energy.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Lachlan also nodded as he took a bite from his food. It's really good, by the way, Valentina said, also taking another bite. After their hearty meal was finished, everyone took a pastry and went to do their own thing. And
that's it for today.
Oh, God.
It's really difficult to do the Irish one in succession of other things. Because I want to keep going Irish.
It's really easy to stick in one accent.
Yeah.
And it's harder to switch back and forth. It's harder to switch back and forth from accents to different accents than it is for voices.
Definitely. I do like it though.
Like the conversation, like before I mentioned the conversation with Lachlan and Rohan. It's very, very simple because the shape is so different from those voices. But if one had an accent, if the voices are similar, but there's an accent on one and not on the other, it's really hard to switch out from that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I do agree. I think it's a great job.
Thank you. I did a little bow.
I saw that.
I don't know if she also noticed, but I did. But yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
There were some references in this chapter.
Yeah.
It kind of just fell into place where we wrote one chapter and we had like two references, and the next one over had another reference to something. So it was kind of funny how when Zenith finished the hair dryer, and I just put the last parts together, she said,
"You did the thing.
You made a thing." And then hummed a little tune, and that little tune is a reference to Zelda, like, you did a thing, da-da-da-da!
Yep.
So, yeah, I wrote that in. And there was another...
hazard.
What's the sequence? The mash'em? Boil and mash and
boil and mash and stick it in the stew.
Yeah, that's the...
So, you take the beans, demolish them, put them in a strainer, boil, and pour boiling water on it.
Yeah, you boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. That was the second reference.
Yeah, so
I think that was another.
Like when we were in call doing the through one, I was like, instead of how he just said it was just the way it's supposed to be, I was like, smash him, crack him, put him in a stew, because that is technically what you do.
Yes.
Did you figure out the last one?
Yeah, the last one was Sammy from Supernatural. Just Sam and Dean. Just a yell from Dean, like, Sammy!
But yeah, it's good. I like them. I like everything. It's all good. Yay.
So yeah, that was. I really like this stream. The chapters were really fun.
I'm glad that we now have Ira. Should we say who she is?
Yeah, I think so.
Because we've done for most of them.
Yeah, even though she's not here.
Yeah. So, Ira was actually created by Momo.
Momo Silver.
The Momo. She's not here because she hasn't caught up yet. Yes, we just finished. Welcome in.
Welcome. You're about an hour and 45 minutes too late. We did just finish. Bonk.
So you are gonna immediately watch it and tell us in 2 hours' time if you liked it or not, right? Yes. Right now.
I'm sure you're gonna like it though.
Yes. There's a lot of hazard.
Yes.
Aww.
Oh, well, that's fine. Just watch it back in 3 weeks.
He's gonna forget that. He's just as bad as you are.
Just watch it back on the last day. Then you got immediately 6 chapters, and you don't have to thing. You don't have to ask for more, because then you got more.
That is true.
At least you're up to date more than other people are. So
yes, that is true. Had Momo vibes.
yeah, there we go.
I
do agree. Even though it wasn't
I was
her
gonna say,
idea,
like,
I do think it still has Momo vibes.
No, she said, I had thought it was the Irish and, or no, it doesn't say and. The Irish had Momo vibes. Yeah, no, I guess not. It wasn't her idea.
It wasn't her idea, but I do think it fits.
It definitely fits. I like the Irish.
Yeah.
Maintenance.
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 You think it's more maintenance than metal joints?
Yes. Yes, I do.
You want me to give you some metal joints?
No, I don't. Metal wings just vanish.
Oh, that's sick.
That is fair, actually.
That's so cool.
Don't give Ida that idea. She will build it. Instead of doing the thing we were gonna do, have them fly.
No. No.
That's too close to the sun. That doesn't work. Icarus.
It's not wax wings. Well, they were metal. We're not gonna do that.
Oh no, calm down. Oh well. I hope you guys had fun.
Yeah, well, at least I did.
I did too. Yes. I
Good.
checked. There are no people I'm gonna raid because I have literally no one live. So thank you for being here. Literally and in stream.
Couldn't have done it without you.
Yes. This is technically still also Apple's story.
Yes.
Yes.
But I mean, anyone in chat.
That is also true.
I don't think we would have as much fun.
Oh no.
If chat was empty.
Oh no.
I know I wouldn't.
I'm already extremely happy that Frog hopped in for a second, even though he couldn't hear us. That made me happy.
Yeah.
Now he's gonna watch that back at some point and then see that bit, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, that's what they were saying."
Yeah. Oh, I'm not sure if I should have now.
Also, he is an idiot, not realizing what the fuck that means. Good luck, have fun.
Oh yeah, glove. Yes. I just hopped in to say glove.
Yeah.
VLHF.
I hope you have as good of a dinner as the group had. Yes. I'm making pasta, and I think both of them are going to be really happy about it. Because they usually are.
Yes, good pasta.
Oh, yes.
Fantastic.
Good. But yeah, let's finish off for today. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you also very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed as much as we did.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah, may luck be ever in your favor. May the force be with you. May the good blood guide your way.
That's the one you were looking for.
No, I just wanted to do all of them.
Okay. Good. Thank you guys so much, and see you next time.
Yeah. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.